Hi guys, what's going on? The stream is hopefully about to go live. If all is going to plan. Just give me a couple of minutes to get sort of things set up. Make sure everything's not running in the background because I don't have enough internet to do that. And hopefully we won't get too much frame drop. Let's have a look how we're looking. Yeah, frame drop's tailing off, which is good. So we're going to be doing some Hightier Barbarian gameplay. Well, that's the plan. Just got to get a few things set up and then we should be ready to go. I'm pretty new to the sort of streaming side of things, so it takes me a little bit of a while to sort of get the hang of what's going on. I think I want to be in that for it to work properly. Let's have a look. Okay. Okay, right, well, I think everything's pretty much set up. I just want to check we're not dropping too many frames, which we don't seem to be doing. So I think the first thing all we can do is hop into a game and see how we get on. I've got both laptops set up, so I should be able to see any comments if anyone's watching. Yes, and hopefully we're going to grind from the Tier 7 Blood Raiders up to the, I think it's the Nilfheim Riders, to the Tier 8 Barbarian Cavalry. And I want to try and get that done this stream. Hopefully we're going to stream for a good couple of hours. If it all goes to plan. Stream health is looking decent. I think I can only stream in up to sort of 720p really. It's about the most I can go without sort of getting a sort of 1500 bitrate without getting frame rate drop. So it's not going to be 1080p at 60 frames per second, unfortunately. But that's sort of the limitations of my internet connection. So hopefully we'll find a game shortly and we can get stuck in. I was hoping, given it's sort of Saturday, most people should be off work and we should be able to get some games pretty quickly. But there we go, found a session. Hopefully you can hear me okay. I guess I should probably check the sound. Make sure I'm broadcasting properly. Yes, which I think we are. It seems to be loading okay. I'd rather that stopped buffering, because I don't want you to broadcast because you'll drop my frames. Okay, so we're just joining the game session, which hopefully we'll do in just a second. We're not dropping any more frames. Okay. Taking a while to join this game session, so it's a bit worrying. Ah, battle is ready. Salernum, not exactly my favourite map. It's got to be said. Can be a bit hit and miss, particularly with the town for cavalry, not particularly ideally suited. yeah, kind of makes it pretty hard to manoeuvre around the town. Although if you can get sort of round the back through the forests a bit, you can do okay. And then if you can get into the town, use your infiltration, sometimes that pays off okay as well. Although at this sort of higher tier, Arminius' infiltration ability is kind of less useful. Because people tend to be much more aware of you moving around. Although it does give you a bonus to view range and charge and other sort of things, so it's still worth having. So tier wise, we're top tier, but there's a couple of tier 7s, a lot of cavalry, I think. Well, 3 other units of cavalry to watch out for. We can have a little look, a little bit of a scat around out at the top, see what's sort of kicking around. I could charge the centre. I don't know if that's necessarily something I really want to do. Looks like the Roman Celeres are going straight for the centre. We'll activate momentum, get a bit of speed up. Obviously, pretty much the main skill of the barbarians is their speed and ability to go quickly. It's their sort of main attribute. It allows them to really pick sort of the fight they want, and can sort of easily get away from a fight if you want to avoid it. We should get visibility in just a second. So, a group of rather vulnerable looking archers. Possibly out the back there, but it looks like the rest of our team is beating a retreat, so perhaps not something to get involved in too much. Some AFK or some disconnected slingers there, so they might not be paying all that much attention to, so these could be a good target, I suspect. Activate the charge. Stop the charge, don't run into the buildings, rout them. Oh, Legion Cavalry, run, 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 run. Didn't mean to activate that. Okay, now we're in a bit of a tight spot. I do not want to be fighting Legionary Cavalry. Certainly one I want to try and get away from if we can. So we'll have a look at these little routing slingers if no one else is. Since should have I lost focus there. I should have kept attention on these coming in from the side. We managed to get out that. We're only one of the units that lost about half health, so not too bad. Just keep an eye out for them. Looks like we're beating these spears in the centre. We'll just finish off these slingers. I suppose they're not routed yet. It's these Legionary Cavalry who are my main concern. If they're going to commit to an engagement... Ooh. See, tier 7 Legion Cavalry, very strong units. Do a lot of damage. But if they're going to commit to these Celeres, I will have a go. Get up the charge. Not a great deal of damage. I'll activate Frenzy, see what we can do. I'm surprised they've not oathed themselves. These Macedonians are going to come in here. This is going to be a problem. They're having, because they're a disconnected player, they're having sort of a bit of dual control issues. But this, I think, is a lost fight. So let's get out of here. Break ranks. Some of us are routing. Oh, just as the other Legion Cavalry arrive. Okay. Activate momentum and try and get away from this place. Oh, hey Chris. I see you in the chat. So let's keep pushing down here, see what we can do. I'm just sort of trying out the streaming, seeing if it's all still sort of working. Is it broadcasting okay for you? I was a bit worried about sort of my lower internet connection, meaning it might not work properly. I'll have a go at these archers if they're going to leave themselves a little bit vulnerable. Ooh, get away. Try and get back out again. Activate momentum. Come on guys. Get out of the... Trying to avoid the arrow fire while getting the bulk of the people out of the range of The infantry. Okay, we're mostly out there. We killed most of their archers. They've got quite a force pressing on base, which could be a problem. Ah, good. Good, it's broadcasting well. I was a bit worried it was going to be a bit juddery or something. So we've got some Celeres there. But I suspect that legionary cavalry is still around somewhere. So look what we've got. Oh, the legionary cavalry's up there. So we've got a few units kicking back towards base. So let's probably go for this legionary, this Celeres. There's also a warband there. Oh, 2 warbands. Okay, I'll say we're in trouble. It's going to be a hard one to pull this one back. I think we're just 2 down on the men now. I don't want to run into the buildings, so I just want to get level with them. What have they got? There's the armoured legionaries. See if we can break them. Okay, get out before the Romans turn up. Okay, let's see if we can lend a bit of assistance down here and run into the back of these. We might be able to get them to rout. Enemy archers shooting in. Okay, let's just try and kill these quickly. These archers are a pain, and we've got some more, a couple of legions, a couple of principes down there. Right, let's get out of here. Okay, but with them reactivate momentum. So we've got to decap very quickly. We've got to avoid these Celeres. They've missed their charge. Let's go. Okay, right, we've decapped. We're basically dead. We've lost too many men now. I think we'll just activate frenzy and make a bit of a stand. We're going to rat any second. Well, we got a bit of extra damage in and we got the decap in, but I mean, with still 1,000 enemies compared to our 100, this is a lost battle. And there they go, our men have routed. Yeah, we sort of got us a bit too tight there at the end. I think that was already lost. And the last few Velites being killed off. I think they're the last people alive, I think, on our team. As soon as they're dead, I think this battle will then be over. I'm surprised they haven't routed. Hanging on with 1 morale. Oh, there they go. Okay, well, we'll get back out and jump straight into another game. So, how did we do? Still got a way to go to tier 8. Yeah, not too bad. Second in the team. Bit of spotting damage. And we've got most of our experience by routing people. Bit of team. Okay, right. Well, let's try and shoot back up with another match. I think we're sort of about halfway to tier 8. I'd quite like to get the sort of Nilfheim riders, if we can. Hopefully we'll get games relatively quickly. Now we're looking down to 50% victory, it's not so good. Still got quite a few battles to fight to get to the 800 for the maximum reward when it goes to open beta. Okay, so we found a session. See what map we end up on. Hopefully not Hadrian's Wall, since that's my most hated map. Rubicon, okay, I don't mind this map. Quite open. I like the open maps, allows it sort of a bit easier to use some of the fast cavalry like the barbarians. Hopefully we get reasonable matchmaking. I don't want to face off tier 10s if I can help it. My Greek cav, not particularly good. I've not started down the Greek side of the Tetra yet. I don't think they're supposed to be. I think they're okay at sort of tier 1 to 5, and then once you get past tier 5, I think they struggle a bit. I think they don't have that much speed, and while they have a really good charge, their hand-to-hand ability is like completely useless. They can almost do nothing when they get involved in a fight. You know, I can take on. Even with tier 7 barbarian cavalry, I can take on tier 8, tier 9 Greek cavalry. And as long as I can avoid their charge, then I'll be able to kill them. So I've never really bothered with the Greeks. I don't feel they're particularly strong. But having said that, they do have a good charge. So if you can get a sort of a good charge into the back of a heavy infantry unit or into cavalry, something like that, then it can be pretty damaging. But I just don't really like that sort of play style, so I've not bothered with them. Oh, there's someone with some Nilfheim riders. This is the unit I want to get next. I didn't even look at the tiers, but there's some tier 10s already. Are going to be hard to deal with. I think this is one to run away from, to be honest. Tier 10, tier 9 and 2 tier 8s. Not particularly appealing. Are they... Yeah, they're Greek cavalry there. That's the tier 8 Greek cavalry. They look cool, but they're just not. They're just not, because of the long spears. They've just got no hand-to-hand combat ability. As soon as they get involved in a fight, they're just useless. Yeah, they are fairly rare. You don't see them very often. You see them at low tiers quite a bit because they're quite good at that. Particularly when people aren't so aware about cavalry charges, they tend to be quite good. But yeah, you don't see them very often in high tier games. And here's probably a good example. So they've just been engaged by tier 9 barbarian cavalry. They got a bit of a charge off which just did that initial damage, but then you'll see that their health just absolutely, you know, decimates of the Greek cavalry. Oops, don't want to run into some tier 10 barbarian infantry. They're doing better than I thought they would, but they've lost, you know, like nearly half the health for 3 cavalry units versus just 1 barbarian cavalry unit. So that's why I just don't like the Greeks. So I'm going to try and get across the river. There's some artillery at the back that could be a target. It's a bit harder in these sort of tier 10 games because being tier 7 I'm just so disadvantaged on stats. My charge and everything is just not very effective against tier 10 units. We'll go into infiltration mode since we're now sort of skirting around the back parts of the enemy team. So there's some legionary cavalry down there. They could be coming my way, I suspect. Which it does look like they are. Not something I particularly want to get in a fight with. It doesn't look like there's anything on these Cherubalis. Obviously some sort of... So I'll go for a charge. Try and make sure we stop the charge before we run into the cliff face. Activate Frenzy. Let's just quickly try and clear up these people before these Romans get here. Okay, they're dead. Let's get out of here. That's their artillery destroyed. So there's some routing pikemen here. We could try and get to them before they reform. But I guess they're probably... I would expect them to regain their morale very shortly. And then we'll be in trouble. Let's try and see if we can kill them before they regain their morale. Right flanked. I think we're going to do them, hopefully. Yeah, and they've routed again. Okay, that was a good little move. Some good experience there. Some tier 9 units pretty easily killed. So that's sort of how I think you have to play with tier 7s when you're just a tier 10 game, is just look for those opportunities. There is no easy way of doing it. These harbingers down here I could potentially try and get in a fight with. Let's have a look. We outnumber them, but they are going to be much better cavalry than me. See if we want to take the fight. Charge. You see, they massively outcharged me there. We'll activate Frenzy, see if we can sort of do anything. Get a little bit of damage on them. So we're getting a reasonable amount there, but they're racking up much more damage against me. So whether we can sort of do enough damage to outdo them. I think it's worth the fight. We're only tier 7 and we're killing a tier 9 unit. Taking a lot of health. Oh, our base has been capped. I'm not paying attention. Try and break off. Problem is they're very quick, these harbingers. Even with my momentum activated, I'm not going to get back to base in time. See if we can get back and get a decap in. Going to be hard to find something to charge. Okay, there we go. We've got a little bit of a decap on. It's whether we can decap them long enough to get our base to capture. It's sort of a bit of self-sacrifice in an attempt to... If they get any decap on us, then we have lost this game. Because nothing else I can do. Ooh, good charge there by our allied cavalry. Come on. No, not the fire. Get out of the fire, man. So I'm basically dead. Oh, we've lost our base capture. Can you get up? No. Well, I think we've lost this one. Unless our cavalry can somehow decap a bit more. Oh. Our Roman guards have managed to make a bit of a move. Despite the sort of Greek high tier phalanx are doing quite a good job. No, we've lost. Oh well, that was quite a good game, quite a close game. I thought for a moment there we were going to get the win, but unfortunately not. We've got a reasonable amount of experience, it's not too bad. Got a bit of damage in considering we're sort of the bottom tier in that game. Yeah, we did a bit from routing enemies and damage. Okay, not too bad. Right, well let's carry on with another game. We've got 28, we need to get to 64,000 before we can get the Nilfheim Riders, so still a way to go.
The clans are ready to fight.
Oh, we got a game very quickly there. 7 seconds. Salernum again. Okay. Just load into this battle. It's taking quite a long time for us to load, longer than normal. Do I do any Total War campaigns? I've been starting. I got Total Warhammer 2 recently, and I've been playing around with that. I did one video on that, and I'm going to do a few more. Do a bit of a campaign series on that. I have thought about doing sort of like similar to, I don't know if you know, there's another YouTuber, a proper YouTuber, a big YouTuber called Pixelated Apollo, and he kind of does like some big set piece battles and stuff in some of like the old medieval games and like the Napoleon Total War series, and he does like uses a lot of mods and makes some pretty awesome battle sets. So I was thinking about having a go at doing some of that sort of stuff as well. I think that looks kind of cool. But yeah, no, I'm really sort of... I've always played the Total War games. It seems like a pretty good thing to sort of... As sort of the main basis for my channel. It's probably going to be more focused on Total War. And then sort of dotted with other games that I sort of just play in and around that. Again, I didn't look what tier we are. Looks like we've got a bit of a better matchmaking this time. I think we're top tier this time. Enemy artillery again. What are all the cavalry? Are they all equites? Yeah. There might be some Greek cavalry again, some tier 6 Greek cavalry, the elite companions. A quick scat around here. Legions, run away. Let's just have a look if anyone is defending this artillery in the slightest. Oh, it's going to be a bit tighter. We'll just go for the charge there and not hang around. We didn't actually get to kill them, but we released half their health, so... Okay, if you're going to charge at me, I'll have a bit of fun with this. We've sort of got quite deep into enemy lines here, deeper than I actually intended. And we're going to have to get out of this fight in a second. 3, 2, 1. Let's break off. Come on, people, get the hell out of there. A little bit of damage in the flanks. Well, why are you going so slowly? I know you're in a forest, which is reduced speed, but Struth. Okay. Well, we've done a little bit of damage there and sort of a bit of a harassment. We'll activate infiltration just to make it a little bit more complicated for them to see us. Yeah, Pixelated Apollo seems pretty good. He seems like a fairly genuine guy, actually. So it would be something I would like to do more stuff like that. I think it probably takes quite a long time to set up all the some of the videos and stuff he does. But I guess as I learn how it all works more and more, hopefully I'll be able to do some stuff like that. Right, well, let's just finished off those pikemen. So we'll pull back round. Hopefully this guy's stopped watching his archers again now. Oh, he's got some pikemen there, so we've got to be careful. And we've lost momentum on one of the units, so we'll reactivate that. We'll perhaps go and have a quick look at this watchtower actually, see if we can get a good position of all the enemy units. I don't have a Discord. Oh, nice find. Some enemy artillery. That was a spot of luck. Just bumped into all the enemy artillery. No, I don't have a Discord. I should probably set one up. It's all sort of I'm still obviously quite new to this whole YouTube thing, so it's only been like a couple of months, and so it's surprising how much there is to learn about, like all the video editing. It took me quite a while to get the hang of sort of some of the editing software, and there's all like the channel art, then thumbnail design and all that sort of thing. But yes, I should get a Discord set up. I'd kind of like to try and get sort of a bit more of a community thing sort of going. I guess kind of now it's largely just like I do videos and some people watch them. but it'd be good to get sort of a bit of a community thing going where there's more people around, and then perhaps try and do some streams where play with some of the subscribers and stuff like that. Try and get something set up. That would be kind of cool. Let's just finish off this guy's equitos. So, well, we dealt with their artillery, which was panned out nicely. Just have these archers. Oops, we lost one. I know we're going to get engaged by these phalanxmen, but they're also being engaged by the Romans, so I'm not too worried. I just need to kill these guys to actually get out of the way, to escape. Okay, so we're out of that fight. So I will get a Discord set up. Just might take me a couple of weeks to sort of sort myself out. Although now I've got a bit of time off from work over Christmas and everything, so I'll probably try and get something set up. If I do get a Discord set up, I mean, I don't know. I've been on a few other people's Discords sort of over the few months I've sort of been learning and stuff. I know some of them have like people who work as like moderators. Would that be something you might be interested in helping me with? If you could be like one of the Discord admins or a moderator or something like that, that could be really good. Let's chase down these Dacian phalanxmen.
Our base under attack. We must stop them.
The enemy equitos are now in our base. We'll probably end up capping by the time I get back, but we'll send our units back, see if we can stop them. That's panned out into quite a nice game, got a good amount of damage. Got quite a few kills there. I was particularly pleased finding that artillery at the back as they wandered in.
Ancestors, we honor you with this victory. Our victory is moments away.
Okay, that panned out okay. Right. I'm quite pleased with that game. Quiesta 4. Don't know what that means. Let's have a quick look at the scores. Yeah, we've got a reasonable amount. What's that for? Oh, a little bit for defence. Yeah, quite a bit on routing and stuff like that. Good. You earn such a ridiculous amount of silver in this game, considering like how much things cost. 1.6 million is just such an excessive amount of silver. So we're heading towards tier 8. We've got to keep pressing on, really. Try and get onto these Nilfheim riders. Yeah, I have been pretty pleased with the sub count. Far more people than I was sort of expecting to get by this time, so it's going pretty well. It'd be nice to sort of try and get to. Hopefully, our dream of getting to like 100 subs before the new year, sort of thing. But we'll see how it goes. So let's see if we can find another game. Hopefully one with nice matchmaking like that last one. So Thermopylae, not too bad a map. Don't hate this map. Yeah, see how we get on here. Yeah, it's quite an open map, this one, so it's not too bad. The only map I really hate is Hadrian's Wall, because frankly, because of the big wall. I find that really annoying. What program do I use? I use it's Adobe Premiere Pro. It's like a it's like a Photoshop's version of video editing, I guess. It works quite well. It's, I think it's a far more powerful piece of software than I'm capable of using, I think is the problem. I'm sort of umming and ahhing of whether to get rid of like my introduction, that silly little thing that runs for like 5 seconds or something before the start of a video. I think I might get rid of that and just go straight in with the videos from now on. I think it's probably just more annoying than actually makes it look professional. So where are we going to go? Could have a look over the hill. We've got some tier 10s in this game, so it's going to be a hard one. There's quite a few tier 7s on our team, so hopefully there's a few tier 7s on the other team as well. Not many archers, only one unit arranged.
Cut to their base or cut them down. Run them down. Quick march.
I'll push up the hill with this Italian cavalry. See what we can see. If we encounter any sort of high tier cavalry or any high tier units, then we'll get straight out. They're obviously a lot quicker than the Roman cavalry. It's quite a good comparison of the speed difference. Whoa, 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 whoa. They're going to back off though. Okay, they're backing off down the hill. If I knew they were the only unit here, then I would go for them. But I didn't know you could go up there actually. Okay, so they're going into camouflage mode. So there is some enemy units up here. Look, on the rocks. So let's go into infiltration mode ourselves, see what's down here perhaps. Some tier 8 dogs. No, 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 I don't want to do that. Definitely not with, there's going to be Nilfheim riders there as well. Oh. Okay, so he's not keen to have a fight. Oh, well, we have got our noble cavalry here with us, so I don't blame him for that. I'm not sure what I'm going to target here. Yeah, I've not tried Final Cut. I can imagine. But yeah, it can be a bit sort of over the top Adobe sometimes. Is that Greek cavalry? I'll certainly have a go at them. I want to make sure I look like I'm not going for them. Maybe my infiltration bonus will work. So we've got a good shot. We're going to get these Nilfheim riders right behind us, but I'll take the hit. Oh, 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 that was a big hit. Okay. Nice if these harbingers. Ah, too late. I think I'm beaten here. We've got a good hit on their Greek cavalry. Did a lot of damage to them, but those Nilfheim riders behind just absolutely slaughtered us. Oh, it's only a Apple one, is it? I used to have a Mac, but I'm just onto Windows at the moment, so it probably wouldn't work. But I know other people use like things like Windows Media, whatever it is, Windows. I forget what the Windows one is. It's a similar sort of thing. That you can do sort of all the things. They could probably do all the things that I actually do editing wise on them, because I don't really do a great deal other than cutting out, you know, the odd period where I'm silent for too long and that sort of thing. These people are a bit stuck.
Our allies fire upon us.
And, it didn't pan out very well for them. Yes, I think, well, we've certainly been defeated quite early on in this game.
Our men are under attack.
How's our team doing? Oh, it looks like we're very slightly winning the battle so far. Chasing down some Imperial Guard. These guys look pretty cool. Be nice to have some Imperial Guard. These look extremely strong. Vengeance gives some melee damage for 105%.
Our base is under attack. We must stop them.
What have we got here? Some social elites, I think. Tier 8 Roman infantry. Yeah, no worries. I'll probably still be around. I'm just going to be I'm half just grinding up to tier 8 anyway. I just thought I might as well stream it while I was here.
Our men are under attack. The Valkyrie. Our men are under attack.
Oh, looks like we're going to win this game anyway. Oh, we might end up losing this with base capture. How many friendly units have we got around to try and defend? Oh, good use of the Scorched Earth against the pikemen. Don't they go and run into your own Scorched Earth?
Our men are under
I
attack.
can't believe these guys are just sort of standing there. The amount of damage they're taking just standing in the fire. Very surprised they don't try and move. Oh, some it takes a while for these units to recover their... These units can still throw javelins at them. Look. Hopefully these units... There's a reasonable amount of damage. These guys are just standing there dying in the flames and missiles. Not really causing any friendly fire, so I think we're okay at the moment. And that's it, they're eliminated. What a strange thing to do, just to stand there. Might as well try and keep with this sort of mass of people. Why are they under 45? Okay, cancel that so they can start to move a little bit quicker. Dear, a bit hard to control when everyone's in the same. Try and keep up vaguely with the advancing infantry. So we'll try and move up with these, just whoever's units these are, some disconnected Roman legions and some javelin men. See if we can lend any more assistance. We didn't play very well in this game at all. Got caught out by those Greek, well, did well against the Greek cavalry, we just got caught out by some Nilfheim riders charging in from the back. Don't know what else we've got to find. There's a fair bit of cavalry remaining, which we've got to watch out for. Kind of limited range with these guys, so. I think someone else might be trying to control the units as well. I think we should just head towards their base. They can't attack such a large block. Keep advancing this way for now, trying to stay in the cover of the other units. So we've got the enemy heavy infantry here. Try and get in range with the javelin men. Don't run onto the spikes. Obviously doing a fairly good job of defending. Try and get these guys as they run in the back with the javelins, that'll be quite effective. Which it is. Doing a reasonable amount of damage there as they run. Conscious of running into the fire, don't run into the fire, don't run into the fire. Whoever else is controlling this who wants to make them run away. Trying to make us lose the fight, I think. Yeah, trying to get us to lose. It's always annoying you get this. You get some people who just like purposefully want you to lose the fight, so they end up like trying to get you to throw your lives away. And now we're going to lose based on base cap, I think. We have enough men, but they're going to cap before we can defeat any of them. There's nothing we can do there. Still going to cap before us, even with... Oh, we won on the timer. Oh, wow. That's quite surprising. Oh, well, that's good. Didn't think that was going to happen. Right, well, let's get back into a game with the Barbarian Cavalry. We're rapidly getting towards the Nilfheim Riders now, so we'll carry on. If anyone else is watching the stream, always interested to know if anyone else is here. Probably a bit of a funny time of the day to be streaming, really, for most people. Let's see if we can get a game. We've been getting games pretty quickly so far, so we have been doing okay. Struggling to get a game now, typically. Back up to 51% victories, which is good. Back on Salernum again. Seems to be the most popular map at the moment. Load in and see how we get on. So it's taken quite a while to load into this one. Not sure why, particularly considering we only seem to be playing this map. I think they got used to loading it by now. Reasonable matchmaking. Let's have a look up to the north up here. We've got a little bit of artillery in the team. And a couple of archer players.
Cut to their base or cut them down. Run them down. Quick march.
Oh, there's a lot of Total War Arena G Fair. I guess there must be some sort of event on. Where everyone is having a go at the game. I don't know if anyone else is going to make a dash for this central point. While we're not spotting. There we go. Okay, so what have we got? Some legionaries moving up, so we'll abandon that post.
The enemy draws
So very large amount of damage to us, nothing to really worry about. So let's pull down and around and see what we can see a little bit further out this way. Oh, some rocks coming in. A little bit risky coming across here because if we bump into someone it's going to be pretty close range, particularly if it turns out to be heavy infantry of some sorts. We'll go and have a little bit of a look, see what we can see in terms of enemy artillery maybe. Well, that's about infiltration. Their artillery has probably got friendly units with it, more than likely, but you never know, so it's just worth having a poke around, seeing if it's just exposed and all by itself, which it is. We can kill it. It's here. It's what it's got defense-wise. I'm conscious about. Don't attack the legions, just attack the. Doing a terrible job of this. Okay, that's not really worked as intended in the slightest. So let's just abandon that. Let's have a look, see if these archers barraging down here are now sufficiently exposed. We've got to wait for our charge to rebuild.
Our men are under attack. Double time.
Let's have a look, try and get them as they run. I've not got any charge reformed yet, but we'll still right flank them. Soon have frenzy back. If they're about to rout, it doesn't really matter. Try and go for these guys as they run. See if we can get them to rout as well. Try and right flank them, rear flank them.
Our men are under attack.
That darn artillery is now shooting at me, I can tell. Let's go and see if we can take on that legion. It may well be possible. Just if we can get a good charge into them, we might be able to do enough damage, so it doesn't really matter. Have they deployed stakes? They're in the process of deploying stakes. See what we can do about them. If we can get around this side, maybe we can just charge and take out enough of the infantry for it to not really be a problem for me. No, with the double, probably not. No, not with the way they're set up. I don't think we're going to be able to do that. We'll have a look at these archers down here. These guys might be pretty exposed. Come on, rout, you bastards.
Our base under attack! We must stop them! Kinane has fallen! Quickly!
What else is there to have an attack at? Well, base has been captured and there's no one there to defend it. I don't think I'm going to be able to get that far back in time, I wouldn't have thought. But we can try. I'm the only one going back anyway, so given the rate of capture, even if I was back, I wouldn't be able to stop this cap.
Time is short! Make them bleed!
I think that archer player was a little bit bitter about me killing his archers. Okay, we'll have one or two more games, and then we'll probably call it a day.
Men flock to my banner!
Oh, straight into a session, which is good. Okay, so on the Rubicon map, I normally tend to spawn over sort of around these grass fields. Sort of gives you the most room for a start, particularly when we've got access to the vision tower, so we can have a quick look at what's coming. I'll perhaps move to this spot actually. Have a quick look, see what's coming across the river, and then I can choose whether to stay or fight depending on what's there. Reasonable matchmaking, we're top tier. A few other tier 7s and some tier 6s. So what have we got? So there's a couple of equites, equites, I don't know how you say it, on the other bank of the river. Nothing else which sort of really appears to be advancing. Just give it a minute or two to make sure there's nothing else. It just seems to be sort of holding ranks over there. Okay, let's go down and have a look at these equites. They're not going to be paying attention. We might be able to get a nice charge into them while they're dealing with something else. Given that there's two of them, it looks like they might have sent a man off to deal with on the other side of the river maybe, or something like that. Get ready on the charge. Oh, they've gone in that time. The next question is, where have they gone? We'll activate infiltration. There they are. I do not want to fight them while there's an enemy warband not that far behind me. I don't know if they've realised that I'm a friend, an enemy unit or not. They have realised that I'm an enemy unit.
Our men are under attack!
Think about hiding around here a little bit. Come on, let's have a go at these equites if they're not going to Activate. Oh, they got the gladiator guys defending them. I'm surprised they haven't sent in those gladiators. They're going for Oath of Perseverance, so they've committed to the fight. Can I win against these people? I'm not sure I can. We did some good initial damage, but I don't know if we're going to be able to keep this damage up. That's the problem. While we are higher tier than these Equites, particularly now with these gladiators getting involved, it's going to be a pretty tough fight to win, I think. So I think it's going to be time to make a run for it. We're mostly on one side so we can get out without too much trouble. So let's try and escape. Bloody artillery is a pain. Let's try and lose them in the grasslands. We should lose visual. The artillery should lose visual on us once we get into here. And be a bit harder for them to shoot at us. Yeah, which they have done. They've given up. If they're going to leave us, if those Equites are going to disappear, I will have a go at charging probably those gladiators. It's only one unit. They'd got stakes out to the side, but I don't think they'd got them out behind them directly. So we might be able to get a nice charge into them. But I don't know if those Equites are going to be staying there or moving on. Let's push down here and into this forest slightly. See if we can get a nice run along the back and maybe push down. And those Equites are just staying there.
The enemy base will soon be ours.
I don't know why. I will have another go. I mean, they must be paying attention. They must know I'm coming. I don't believe they're so unaware that they're just completely blind to my, you know.
Our men are under attack.
We outcharge them most times, and it's given me a chance for my frenzy to recharge. And they should have lost their Oath of Perseverance by now, which should help the situation. But now we have got the gladiators involved, so that doesn't help the situation. We won a little bit on the initial charge, but we're losing a bit now, which is the problem. Oh, hi Chris, glad you're back. Hopefully we can rout one or two of these units. Okay, routed one. Maybe the rest are going to want to try and pull out. I'm not sure. Okay, time to get out again, I think. They're going to have these artillery facing straight back at us again shortly, probably. I will take a charge on these gladiators if I can get it, since I think I'll be able to deal with them without too much trouble. Okay, let's have a go. Go for the charge against the gladiators while they're not paying attention. Off the back, into the back. Okay, so wait for them to sort of stand back up. We'll activate Frenzy, see what damage we can do against these gladiators. 7.5, 9,000. And we just got left flanked by those remaining Equites. I don't think we're going to do enough damage to rout these gladiators, which is the problem. And we're taking pretty heavy unit damage now. We have got some friendly infantry turning up, and I think this battle is pretty much lost anyway, so we've not really got anything to lose. Since everyone is now here, those gladiators have routed. Let's just finish them off. And then it's just onto the siegehongers. Try and rout them without getting caught up on the spikes too much. Okay, so that's the enemy artillery dealt with, finally at least. I'd say this is still a lost battle though, that's the problem. We haven't got that many units left. The enemy just so vastly outnumber us.
The enemy base will soon be ours. The enemy base will soon be ours. Run!
I do not want to fight legionary cavalry if I can help it. Because they'll just oath and they'll be far better than me. At least we're killing off their javelin men. So we've got some friendly units, enemy units in our base, sorry. that could be a problem. We could have a go. I've still got 20 something seconds before I can charge into the back of these units, but I haven't got any charge, and they're just going to Oath of Perseverance like that, which is the problem. I can activate Frenzy, but I'm not sure really I'm going to do a great deal of damage against them. No, not really. And because we didn't use the charge, we're not going to get much of a charge against them. The Gungnir chargers are going to try and get out. Okay, I think it's definitely time to break away from this one. One of our units broken routed. I mean, we've lost for the base cap. I mean, they've got so many high tier units in there, we'll never be able to stop the cap now, I don't think. Look at that, look at all those high tier legions. No amount of charging is going to help that. Well, we did a little bit of damage, but not a great deal there. Not really a lot we can do. Activate Frenzy, but we've basically got no people left. The Blood Riders charging in. Just too outnumbered by the enemy units to be able to win this one, really. Plus the Legionary Cavalry will stand a reasonable job of being able to defeat these Romans if it needs to. It can have a charge in and do a fair amount of damage. Yeah, I don't think that's a winning combination. There we go. And there's our thing reset. Oh, well, we've got 49 people remaining. I don't think we're going to win this one. Wait for this battle over, then we'll probably have one more battle after this one, and then I'll probably go and get some lunch. To do with these legionaries just dying now, really? Oh, we're going to have our base captured shortly anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Romans are fighting on. Getting charged in the back. No, I'm not at tier 8 yet. No, unfortunately not. Still tier 7. Hopefully soon we'll get there. Oh, we got most top player for most aggression points. I'll probably get there in the next day or two. I'll keep grinding through these. I don't know why it sometimes does this. It says commander is still in battle, despite the fact that you know, the battle literally just finished, so it's clearly not still in battle. Yeah, still got a fair way to go for the Nilfheim Riders. There we go, there's the results. We're getting there though, not too much longer. How close is he? Still a fair way off as well. Okay, we'll do one more game and then we'll do finish. Hopefully we can have a good final matchup where we're nicely top tier, not on Hadrian's Wall. That would be the dream. Yeah, hopefully in the next couple of days, I'll finish off these Blood Raiders and get to the Nilfheim Riders, and then I'll probably do another video, sort of like a proper review video on the Nilfheim Riders at tier 8, and then I think it's the Harbingers, which is the tier 9 Barbarian Cavalry. There we go, we've got a game. So let's see what we can do. Germania. Oh, I've not been on this map very often. I think this is one of the maps you only get at higher tiers. So this almost certainly means then that I'm going to be in a bad matchmaking game. I'll have to wait for the map to load in to see if I can actually remember what it looks like. I think I've played it once maybe twice before, but I think it's almost certainly going to be a tier 9 or tier 10 game at least. I mean, it's certainly taking its time to load in on this one. Right, so where are we going to go? Yes, we've got the fort at the back. I'm more inclined to stick to sort of the flanks for this battle. So, really I kind of, well, maybe I'll go down here. Last time I played around this part of the map. It's kind of this central valley which you can run down, but then obviously you're in the water, so it can be a bit dangerous. So I'm inclined to move over this side for the start. I didn't look at the tiers of what units we've got. I guess there's at least some tier 9s there. Oh, we can already see some tier 7 enemy infantry moving up. So let's come and have a look at what's going on. We may well get some enemy cavalry moving down these riverbeds, which we may need to avoid. Okay, so we've got some veteran legionaries there. Okay, they've blocked off that passage, and they've placed stakes, so I don't want to get involved with them. The centurions here, and some friendly Praetorian infantry moving up. So what we've got is that's the Greek tier 8 cavalry. These centurions are like forming a line here, which is making it hard to... Once these Praetorians actually engage, I'll be happier. There we go, here's the gap that we've been wanting. I'd quite happily have a go at this Greek cavalry, should the opportunity present itself.
Our men are under attack.
See, that's where I fell down. The hammer is just so strong.
Blood, blood, blood.
Whether these Romans are going to actually have a go at me, or they're just going to be chased off by the higher tier of Praetorians, I do not know. You see, we should now be able to beat this Greek cavalry, in theory. There we go, one of them is routing. Those centurions are committing to attacking me rather than dealing with the Praetorians in front of them. I'm just going to hang on for now. Finish off these last Greeks, and then we'll go try and get out. We've lost quite a few units, so it's a shame. But the enemy centurions did take heavy casualties as well in the process.
Fire upon us.
We'll reactivate momentum.
Run them down.
Oops, don't want to get caught between that two. They're having some pillars thrown at me. Try and rear flank these centurions, try and get them to break, and right flank. They are not keen on routing though, however. So time to abandon that one as well. Okay, things aren't quite panning out how I intended. We've assisted our tier 9 Praetorians in getting quite a few casualties. Nope, killing quite a lot. Then we'll activate infiltration, go back into stealth mode, and see if we can find anything exciting to kill. Then we have still got some archers alive somewhere, but they might be all the way up at the other end of the map by now by the looks of it, so that's probably nothing we can really deal with. We'll go this side to not get caught out by the enemy legions. With the few units I have, there's little real benefit for me to cap, I don't think. None of our people can see particularly well because they've all been so damaged, so I've lost a lot. Oh no.
Our men are under attack. Quickly.
Caught out a little bit by some chosen swordsmen there.
Soon be ours. The Valkyries have come for me.
Oh, Arminius is dead. Oh dear, this is not going quite so well, this game. It's a lot harder when you can't really see anything in front of you. I might as well perhaps go to this point here. I'll push around. Looks like our dogs are engaging the enemy chosen swordsman, maybe. Problem is these guys can see me and I can't see them.
Our base under attack. We must stop them. Kill them all.
Oh, just as I arrived, they pull their dogs out. Not a lot of help for me. Well, we have 2 people remaining. Oh dear. It's just one of those games that has not gone very well. Oh, and now our base is being capped as well. Well, I'm at the other end of the map, so there's not really a lot I can do about that. I might as well just save up until we get our charge back. There's no point charging forwards just randomly otherwise. I'll just loiter around here. Looks like we're going to lose on the base capture. For the charge, how much did we do? I actually did a bit more than I thought we were going to do. Have a bit of a swing around, and that's us dead. Well, we did about another 1,000 damage into the back of those swordsmen. So that's a little bit of something, I suppose. Let's have a look back at our friendly base capture. How are they getting on? Wow, those Praetorians there have actually routed. That is surprising. That means the Sacred Band's doing a fairly good job of actually attacking them. Some veteran legionaries have sort of arrived on scene, and there's also a unit of Praetorians. They are now going to be very much in trouble though, because they're about to get rear flanked very badly. Ooh. I'm surprised they've not routed even already. They'll be routed in seconds. The Sacred Band, I would have thought, being flanked on both sides, they're going to be dead in seconds. But we have captured their base though, so it is a... we haven't quite. We're about to capture their base though, so it will soon be a win. And there we go, base captured. Okay, well, we'll end on that victory. I've kind of enjoyed that bit of screaming. I'll carry on and get up to tier 8 before too long. I've also got another video to put out today. I think it's a Warhammer 2 Total War video I'm going to release today as well. And then I'm going to start to have a look into trying to do some higher quality sort of Total War videos, sort of a bit more like Pixelated Apollo. Though, I shall see you later, Chris. I think you've been the main person really only watching this today. So I hope you've enjoyed it, and yeah, thanks for all your support on the channel. Really appreciate it. Cheers. See you later.